I'm going to guess that somehow, somewhere in your business, you actually want to make sales. Sometimes I think we forget about this. We're so focused on the marketing piece that some people forget that they actually need to help their clients, to help their own business to make sales. Something that I'm super obsessed with. So I am so stoked to be able to bring on our guest today, Derric Haynie, who's going to be talking to us about e-commerce. And I heard somewhere around here the term 100 million, something about 100 million, and we are going to jump into that with him. And before we do, I am going to introduce you to one of my dear friends, the amazing from behind the scenes at ManyChat, ready to share with you magic about the Conversations Conference, which is coming up. Farah, yahoo!
Hey Molly, how are you doing?
I'm so good. Look, we can both be here at the same time.
Can you believe that we are about a month away from Conversations? I mean, the past few months with Facebook Live Meet the Speaker series has just flown by, and we're only less than a month away to Austin, where we're going to have incredible speakers come and just have like all these bot builders come around and talk about the ins and outs of bot building, learning how to implement new strategies. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. And what I'm really excited for is to learn about all these Facebook updates and all the updates going on with ManyChat and how to implement them all into our marketing strategy, which I think everyone who's going to come to the conference should be stoked about, because you're going to be the first people at the conference to learn about all this stuff. And then you'll be able to take it back home and implement it into your strategy and then make even more money. So, I mean, who's not excited about that? Let's see. So we've got some amazing speakers coming. We're going to learn about Facebook updates, ManyChat updates. We've got Randy Zuckerberg, Neil Patel, Mari Smith, and Ezra Firestone speaking. And we got Derric Haynie speaking, which Molly's going to dig deep into, like how to drive in sales and then earn up to like $100 million. I mean, who doesn't want to learn about that? And let's see, what else is there? Oh yeah, we've got this amazing big bash in Austin. So when you come to Austin, you're going to want to make sure you'll have like all your business cards ready to network, and it's just going to be a grand old time. And I want to remind everyone that prices do go up August 23rd. So make sure you get your tickets during this Meet the Speakers, and then we're going to also offer a discount code, so make sure you get your tickets before prices go up so you can come join us in Austin, because it's going to be a fantastic time. And I think that's about all to update everyone with. I don't want to take up too much time, so I'm going to throw it back to Molly so her and Derric can chat about ManyChat and how everyone can, drive in traffic and grow their business and sales.
I love it so much. All right. So you mentioned something about a code word that they can use here before I bring Derric on. If you have yet to get a ticket, all you have to do, I'm going to put this on the screen. If you give us this word, we like making up words for our shows. So if you give us the word Ecom Rocks, all one word like that, below this video, then Manny, the ManyChat bot, will send you a message via Messenger, reply to that bot with the word Ecom Rocks, and you're going to get a discount code for the Conversations Conference. Plus, you're going to get a written guide from today's show, which is so awesome. So we're actually, the awesome team at ManyChat is taking all of the brilliance that Derric is going to drop today and going to put it together in a written guide just for you. Right?
Totally.
So good. Yep. Okay, I'm going to pop you down. I'm going to give some news about Derric, and I just can't wait till we get there. It's only a month away. It's so good.
And we'll see you in Austin.
Oh, no. Awesome. Okay, bye. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so for those of you that I don't know, my name is Molly Mahoney. I am so honored to be hosting the ManyChat Meet the Speakers series here at ManyChat, brought to you with the magic of Be Live TV, which is how we can bring in Farah from San Francisco. We're going to bring in Derric from Oakland. We've got you. We'd love to know where you are watching this video from. So let us know, like Derric just said. Look at that. If you're live, tell us where you're watching from, which is awesome. He is on the ball. And let me tell you, he actually has a little more magic behind the scenes than just knowing how to get some engagement going on a video by asking where you're from. He played high stakes poker professionally for 10 years before starting his first tech company, which is something that I am stoked to talk to him about. Do you play poker? I want to know. And that is where he fell in love with the process of acquiring, activating, and retaining customers at his first tech company. So, it's sometimes called marketing. And I love the fact that he's not just talking about, like I mentioned earlier, he's not just talking about how we can get more reach, but he's talking about actually acquiring, activating, and retaining those customers. I was going to say retaining companies, but retaining customers. From there, he launched a digital marketing agency, which ran for 4 years before taking full-time internal role as the director of acquisition at an e-commerce subscription company, where he took an advertising budget from zero to, these are numbers that are really big, so get ready for it, $300,000 a month. What? I'm assuming these strategies are things that you can use also if you have a smaller budget. But if you are looking to up that budget to something like $300,000 a month, whoa, so awesome. He moved from e-commerce to Ecommerce Tech, working as the head of marketing at Georgia's, a help desk for e-commerce stores. So he really knows what's going on. He fell in love with the Shopify experience and all of this. And he calls himself the chief Ecommerce Technologist at Ecommerce Tech, which I love. I'm so stoked to bring him on and share all of this magic, because this is really stuff that I have not completely dove into yet. So Derric, we are stoked to learn about this from you. Let's get you up here. Give him the biggest fireworks show. Please, all the likes and the hearts. Share this puppy out into the world. And here is Derric Haynie.
I love that countdown timer as well. And thank you so much for the intro. That is amazing.
So good.
Scaling ad budgets, talking live chat strategy. We can go anywhere you want to go. I'm happy to.
Yeah. So I'd love to start by, if you could just share, because everybody's story is so different about how they learned that messenger bots even existed. So you obviously came with a tech background. Also, this is a super side note, but I love the little personal things. But one of my dearest friends, this is so random, but one of my dearest friends is actually the president of the World Poker. His name's Adam Pliska. I don't know if you know him, but he is he's huge in the, I can't remember exactly the company that it is, but it's the big World Poker
Tour probably. Tour. Or WSOP.
And I've known him since I was 13 years old, and it's been so cool to follow the poker stuff that he's doing. It's really exciting and awesome. So that's so fun.
Yeah, it's so fun from the outside, but you do it for 10 years and it is a grind, right? It's a job.
Oh man, I'm sure.
You're risking thousands of dollars every day, tens of thousands of dollars every day, probably. And at the end of the day, you're just trading dollars for time. And you really can only be a one-person job there. And that's why I always knew that I couldn't do poker forever. But a lot of the values that you learn from poker carry perfectly over into business.
Man, it's so true. And so this is something that I hardly ever talk about, but while we're talking about poker, I'm going to share this secret that I was actually a singing cocktail server in Vegas.
Oh my God.
At the Rio in a past life. So it was where all the kids could be. So it wasn't that inappropriate. And I have a super crazy G-rated brand. So I make sure it stays a little secret, but it was super fun. And I learned so much about the world of all of that. And one thing that I always think when it comes to spending money on ads, I know there's a lot of, Amanda Bond calls it ad motions, right? That when you're managing ads for a client, really you're managing their ad motions, because it gets scary when you're putting that much money into something and you're not quite sure about the return, right? There's always some artistry to it. And I say now, I used to love playing craps, but now I'm I'd rather put $500 into a Facebook ad and see what happens than I would throw it onto a craps table. Because it's, when you're first starting with ads, obviously we come in with knowledge and we know the awesome systems that you're going to share with us, but there's always a little bit of ooh, at first. And I'm sure the poker thing helped you to manage the energy.
Ads are very similar to poker because you're risking money in a short-term game, essentially.
Yeah.
And you could be a loser. And in fact, a lot of people that have invested into advertising have lost, right? Especially when you go at it with a low budget and low skill set, which is exactly the same as poker. If you go into playing poker with low budget and low skill set, you really only have one guaranteed outcome, which is you will lose all your money. Now, if you have a great budget and even a reasonable budget and the skills that you need to succeed, then you're playing a game that's positive ROI, right? You should be able to make more money than you spend. But a lot of times, both in poker and in business or advertising, there's a learning curve and a time to recoup those costs, So a lot of people, I've seen this so many times in e-commerce communities where somebody says, I spent $40 on ads and got no sales. What happened? And they're like, I got all these clicks to my website. I'm like, $40? Like, go home. Like you're not even shouldn't even be advertising at all, because your mindset clearly isn't prepared for what is making a sustainable business through advertising, which is
amen.
Yeah. And so
what's crazy though is a lot of people who even if they know that as like, so I would love to know, with those of you that are here today, are you using ads? Are you managing ads for clients? Let's ask that question. Are you managing ads? Are you managing ads? And let's do yes for myself. And then we'll do yes for clients. And then we'll do no, run away. Okay, so we're starting a live poll. You can do this live poll on the bottom of the screen. If you're on the computer, you'll actually see the options like pop up on the bottom of the screen. If you're on your phone, it's in the little chat bubble on the bottom. There's a purple circle. Click on that and then vote, and then we'll bring the answers up in. One thing that I've noticed when people are managing ads for other people, they'll lead with their giant success stories, of like things where they had a small ad spend that turned into a really awesome amount of sales.
Hey, that's what I just did.
I was just thinking the same thing, but then I remembered that yours is actually spending $300,000. So you're actually already establishing that you're going to have a $300,000 budget. So it's like,
yeah.
There
were a lot of things that it took to get there. Like a lot of the first thing, like it's not something I can take credit for, really. The ability to scale to that point requires multiple different departments. And most importantly, it requires a quality and kind of viral-esque product, where our cost of acquisition is, proportional to our lifetime value. So we can see ROI, we can beat our margins, right? We have to be able to recoup that investment cost. And in fact, our goal was to recoup investment in 3 months, because it was a subscription product and we had thin margins.
So what was the actual product with that? Because this is also crazy important, that people just think that Facebook ads, if they just like put money into the Facebook ads, that's going to solve any problem. But if you don't have a product that's actually like worth selling, then it does not matter, right?
I'm going to share it here in chat. It's boxycharm.com. It's a beauty box subscription where you're getting 5 discovery products every month. And we're the people curating those products. We're able to secure them at extremely low cost because we're partnering with all of the beauty brands, and they're giving it to us essentially at production cost. So there is a cost there. And then we're selling the box for $21 a month, right? So our margins obviously can't be that great, because landed, shipped to you in your home at $21 a month is like, okay, like 5 full-size beauty products over $100 of value. Obviously, you're thinking like, they have to be losing money every month on this.
Yeah.
At scale, you're able to make this work. So there's a huge operational and logistics component to do this at scale and make the company work for you. And then once that's working, it's a discovery product. So everybody loves posting on social media. We have they still have phenomenal influencers that are sharing about the brand. And for those reasons, advertising is fuel on the fire, right? It is the gasoline that took us from like, okay, we can see sales on Instagram, we can see sales on Facebook. Let's just boost that like straight through the roof. And of course, once I did that, I had 80% of my ads were losing ads. And then all of a sudden there's one where we paid an influencer known as Cardi B to do a little video for us. It was literally a 30-second super annoying video for me. I've seen it like 4,000 times now. And I got the rights to promote that video on Facebook. So I put that video up and it dropped our cost acquisition by 50%. So that was the biggest winner.
Awesome.
Right? We went to like a very strong direct acquisition model. We got millions of video views on that, and we were able to use that as a huge lever into scaling acquisition.
Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, so I have a question that is like maybe off topic from the e-commerce thing, but now that you've brought it up, it's actually not. So how I know so many people are interested in reaching out to influencers, and we were talking. I had a conversation yesterday with Naveed Moazzez. I don't know if you know him, but yeah. So Naveed and I were talking about bringing in, he does summits, and so we were talking about bringing in guests to be on a summit, and that sometimes when people are getting started, so like not everyone is going to have the clout necessarily or the money to be able to pay someone like Cardi B to do this, right?
Yeah.
But what is your best tip for people who are looking to reach out to micro influencers or influencers to have them represent their product like that to give it that extra little boost?
So first I'm going to show you a free tool that is for Shopify stores only right now. I'm going to share here in chat called Hero. So if you're a e-commerce store right now, specifically on Shopify, let's just say you've had a few thousand customers in your store. This is a free tool that will identify the social followings of all of your existing customers, as well as your social followers, as well as your email list. And then you can say, oh, look, that person has 20,000 followers and they bought from me 3 times. Let me go reach out to them and see if they'd be willing to do something for free or in exchange for product or something like that, right? So this is a really good start to micro influencer. And of course, it can go up to macro influencer connecting, because these are your most valuable and most authentic influencers.
Yes, I love it. That is so cool. So it integrates only with Shopify. So it's
right
not
now, yeah. And so that's the limitation for this tool. But you can think about other tools that might be able to do this. You could also do it manually, or maybe there's a more enterprise like tool like Upfluence or Redfluence that could do some of this as well. But this is the free tool that I just recommend to everyone, because it costs you nothing. And within about 10 minutes, you can identify some influencers in your existing base.
Oh my gosh. So awesome. I mean, and it's kind of like you can use the audience insights and you can see the people who are following your page and you can see who else they're following. But this is them actually being able to tell who actually is buying from you. So it's getcaro.com right here. And there's also Upfluence, which is a paid tool, correct?
Yeah.
But,
There's a few others like that. Awesome. We could talk like influencer marketing platforms for a long time.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we'll talk about that on a later date. I also want to know, I want you to know that if you're watching this right now, if you give us the word here, let's hide this. If you give us the word dun dun dun, ecom rocks, we are going to be putting together a written guide. So I'm sure in that written guide, we'll also include links to everything that we're talking about today, because I know we're going kind of rapid fire through all of this. So that'll be good for you. You'll also get a discount code for the ManyChat conference where Derric is speaking. So Derric, what are you going to be talking about at the conference?
Yeah, so I kind of recently, perhaps accidentally became an expert in live chat. And of course, we're here talking about messenger marketing, and live chat is similar, but it's a little bit different in the sense that what I focus on really is the we either called sales or pre-sales chat experience. Usually on site. Obviously, I know I've done messenger marketing a ton in the past, which can take place on site or on channel. But for me, I'm looking at conversations around, hey, does this come in red? Hey, is medium going to fit me? What sizes do you have? Do you have this in a 9? Can I, what's your refund policy? People are coming to the website and they have questions, right? These questions are actually objections. They're essentially obstacles or hurdles that we have to get over in order to get them to purchase. And so I've been studying the experience that some people are having on site. And we can see that by having active humans respond in real time, you can increase conversion rate on your website by about 20 to 40%. That's 20% additional store revenue if you do this correctly. You also increase average order value, lifetime value. You lower your back-end customer service cost because you answered questions prior to the purchase period. So all the good things happen, and not enough people are investing in it. So something here's the sneak peek reveal. Mystery shopper report that I helped a company called Simpler, SIMPLR.ai run. We did 500 e-commerce stores, a lot of big brands like medium and large e-commerce stores, not small stores, established stores like Staples, Bose, who else? Like Timbuktu, all of these big name brands that you've heard of. And of the 500 stores, 360 of them had on-site chat, somewhere on the site. Of those 360 on-site chats, 280 of them were just sending to email. So it was a complete missed experience, right? It was just like, hey, do you have any questions? And then it's like, hey, what size does this come in? And then it's like,
will you share those numbers again? Because this actually, as a user, this drives me bonkers, right?
Exactly.
Even on And so the thing that's for those of you that are like, wait a minute, I don't actually have the team or the staff to be able to do this. One thing that I love about ManyChat is that you can take ManyChat, you can add this little chat box to your actual website. It is crazy easy, like cuckoo easy. And you can have it so that it has a few questions that are answered and it pings you and says, hey, somebody's asking a question on your website. So if you're not someone who has loads of traffic, like if you're not Best Buy, and you're not going to be able to employ a full like team to answer questions right there, as a solopreneur or as someone who's just getting started and has a really small team, ManyChat can actually send you a notification like they would a text message when someone has a question. And if you had the opportunity to talk to somebody who's ready to purchase from you, how awesome is that?
Yeah. It's great for everything, sales and customer development, and it helps you understand what might be missing from your website.
Yeah, because then you can take those objections and put it into your copy. You can add things into you can add it right to the website. You can put it anywhere.
And you can add it to the bot itself so that you don't have to answer that with a human next time. So you can definitely have those automated flows helping 80 to 90% of your inquiries. But the takeaway from my session will be, so this is the spoiler, is you absolutely, it should be a 24/7 bot to human interaction. So live chat interaction. And what I mean by that is you need a human manning live chat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's because your store is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you don't want to waste that manpower on answering really simple questions. So you need to have the bot mitigate as many tickets as possible, and then the human follows up. Excuse me.
That's great. I love Naomi's comment here too. It's so good to see you. Look, Naomi, I'm kind of like you with my mug here. I don't know. Okay, I'm hiding behind the comments. So it's such a missed opportunity when I go to a page and send a message and their chatbot responds with, hey, send your question to our email at hello. I know, totally. And I even noticed it with like, I'm going to out somebody, but ConvertKit, which is what I use for my email management. It's such an awesome tool. It's so simple. And then their little chat bubble that they have says, we'll get back to you within like 3 to 4 hours. I'm like, can you not? I don't understand. So I know it can seem difficult to be able to have somebody there to man all the questions right away, but there's ways, like you said, to help with that. So continue on. I love it. Oh, no.
All right. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
I messed with my microphone. I knew that was going to.
I muted you also for a second, so then I was worried that I did it, but we're back.
Along the same lines, intercom.
Yeah.
They're like, they don't respond to you like in real time at all. And I'm like, guys,
that's the whole point.
It's like if you're gonna do this as a business, do this as a business. They also always ask you for this is a pet peeve of mine. They go, are you an existing customer? I'm like, you have me cookied. You should know.
Yeah.
Okay? So stop asking. And
totally. And there's ways that you can tag, like with ManyChat, if you're using ManyChat, you can have them tagged. So as soon as the live chat pops up, the custom fields are right there. The tags are right there. So you have all of this information for your whole team. I know you had never heard of Be Live, which is the tool that we're using to go live right now. But I will say their customer support is literally like we could be doing a live video and I can message their customer support like, hey, this thing's not working, and they'll fix it right there. They're like on site all day, all night. It is the most amazing thing ever. So if you want to see how somebody does it right, use Be Live because it blows my mind.
Yeah, but, and it's that's part of the experience that essentially you're paying for. And while that's a B2B tool or a tech tool, we can think of that same experience in e-commerce. We need to have somebody to talk to. And if you're going to beat Amazon, like right now in e-commerce, you're probably going to need to build a digitally native vertical brand, which essentially means like a product that people can unite around and kind of have conversations around. And therefore you need to partake in those conversations in real time. And it needs to be everywhere, including your own website. Like, that's how you win. So we're talking about going to 100 million. Obviously the first million in revenue, like per year, it's going to be a lot about product market fit, finding scalable channels, gaining a little bit like traction. But yeah, the next stage is in building that loyalty and digitally native vertical brand. And that requires what it looks like a cost when we're talking about hiring more reps to do live chat in real time 24/7 as well, right? Well, then I need, how many people am I going to need? I'm going to need 12 people. Well, it turns out, according to SendLane, who does this for their own customer service, and again, this is tech, not e-commerce, but you can relate. Still, I think they have 5 customer service reps in different time zones, and they fly them all into their San Diego office for trainings, like either I think it's annually, and they do a lot of quarterly trainings as well. And then they're in different time zones, so they have overlapping people. Their response time is under 2 minutes, and this is like, it's an email service provider. They have a lot of questions coming in for them, and so you can imagine, okay, if it's going to cost me 5 people full time across the globe in a dispersed environment, that's a big cost. Not every company is ready for that.
Yeah.
You can start with one person for that 9 to 5 shift, but you're going to miss out because it turns out, this is another takeaway, that the spoiler, it turns out that most people are staffing customer service at the wrong hours. And I'm calling it customer service, but of course we're talking about sales as well. It all kind of lumps into e-commerce customer service. So most people staff 9 to 5 if they're that's like the starting, right? Of course. But peak shopping hours are about 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So you're
oh yes, and most people are staffing between like 9 to 5 or something.
Yeah, exactly. So you just clocked out right as your peak demand hits every single night. It's really a bad experience because all of those inquiries get answered the next day. And guess what? I moved on to Amazon to purchase from them because I didn't get my question answered.
Yep. Man, so crazy. You know what I thought maybe you were going to say, and I know there's studies done about this. I don't have it top of mind right now, but something about when someone reaches out, like even if they send an email and they're interested. So this, I know we're talking about e-commerce, but I'm also noticing how important this is for other verticals as well. Other, types of services.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with, first of all, if you can't hear, click on the video and turn up your volume. But I've heard something that like people expect to be responded to within, like if you don't respond to an inquiry within like something like 9 minutes or something, you've lost the customer. Like it's proven that is when the customer will be lost.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's even shorter than that.
I'm sure.
Five is definitely pushing it. So over 5 minutes is pushing it. 90 seconds is what you need for optimal increase in conversion rate, essentially. Under 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
90. Yeah.
90. Yeah. Not 9. Okay. 90. It's longer than the attention span. So that's good. But I mean, and I think there's ways that those of us who don't have, the opportunity to have that many team members at first. I love that you talked about at first, you're doing things that don't scale. Because sometimes people hear things like this and they're like, great, I've got to jump straight to that other side of the bridge. But really, we've got to be building the bridge as we're building the business, right? And so we're going to do this stuff as you're building it out. But I love that the focus is on this. And literally, if you are a business on your own and you don't know if you're ready to hire a full team, you can turn on that notification on your ManyChat settings that lets you know that someone has asked a question.
Yeah,
like
and that's actually the best way to start. You need to keep it in-house, and it's you or your COO or somebody. If you have a small team, one person needs to just own it. As you get more inquiries, you realize, okay, we need a support agent. And then we need a head of customer support. And now you're building a robust library of all the questions coming in. You're answering them through bot mitigation strategy. You've built your macros and rules. You've got a well-oiled machine. So that's where we need to go from there. And that's kind of how you build that trajectory out. But the most important thing, actually, I would argue, is tracking revenue from sales. We want to know how much money this is making us, right? So, and a lot of people, again, because we're talking about customer service, and traditionally customer service means like a post-sale ticket, like where's my order, or hey, this never arrived at my door, or
because it's looking at someone once they're already a customer instead of treating them like a customer when they're a potential customer, right?
There you go. I want to see that line.
Use it. I love it. That's so good.
Line. Yeah, treat them like a customer before they buy.
Yes.
And it makes it's a seamless experience after. I love that concept.
That's so good. Look at all of the magic, and this is what you're going to get when you come to the conference. Oh my gosh. Okay, before we get into that, I want to bring this poll back up onto the screen because I left it going for a really long time. Whoa, look at this. So cool. So it says, yes for myself, 63%. Whoa, we got more votes coming in. 56% now. Yes for clients as well. I guess I should have had both, but we have 11% that says no, run away. So if you're in the place, I'm going to end that poll now. Thank you for voting. I love it. If you're in the place where you're thinking like you're not sure how to even get started with this, or you're thinking like, oh gosh, I need support in this, the conference is going to be a perfect place to do that. So the ManyChat conference, Conversations Conference, is coming up in September. Derric will be speaking there. Derric, what's the actual title of your talk?
It is called Beyond Customer Service, How to Track and Increase ROI from On-Site Chat for E-Commerce.
Oh my gosh, so good. So you're going to learn all of this magic. And now we're going to talk just a little bit about how to actually track the ROI. And if you're managing things for clients, this is one thing that so many marketers are missing. I was actually talking about this morning because it's like a lot of marketers, and you've said something similar to this so many times today, which I love. They see like, oh, I'm going to get you reach, or I'm going to get you leads, and then I let go.
Yeah.
Right. Not realizing that really it's our responsibility to help get the whole process done so that the credit cards actually fly at our clients' faces. So
yeah, if you want to, I found this out in my agency. If you want to keep your clients renewing their contracts, you need to show them revenue. And they will tell you otherwise too. They'll be like, we need to grow our social following, right? I've had that so many times. And then I was like, here's 10,000 new followers, like good quality organic followers. And then it's like exactly what you wanted. And then it's like, you know what, we're done here. And I'm like, yeah, I thought so. Because you asked for something that you shouldn't have asked for. You actually wanted ROI. And this happens in video creation as well. People want viral videos, but they actually want sales, cost-effective sales is what they mean by viral video, right? So it happens quite a lot. And it's important as the business owner to really understand what you're getting into with an agency, what they can provide and what they can't, and what you have to deliver on your side. You think because you're paying them as an agency that they're your slave, let's say. I had to censor myself. I think you know, but they're actually a partner, and you both are providing something of value to the other party that creates more value when you work together. And so, you know,
and I think it's our responsibility also as marketers to help educate people who don't, like the other business owners who don't necessarily understand this. This is a collaborative experience. So we've got to have an awesome product. We have to be able to have we need that collaboration, and we need the understanding of what our goals actually are. Like I've had situations with clients where on the very first call, I'm like, great, so let's set some KPIs so we know like what you're actually wanting. So what would you love to see at the end of 3 months? And they're like, you know, I'd love to have an increase in our likes on our Facebook page. And that's like all they say. And I'm like, but I don't think that's what you really mean.
And there is a way to make that work. So if you look at somebody's organic social and how that's impacting revenue today. So you could say, okay, it looks like you get about 1,000 sessions a month from Facebook. That results in $1,000 in sales, right? So it's about $1 per session. And you have a following of 10,000 followers. So your following of 10,000 is worth $1,000, right? Which means that's 10 cents of value per follower. So if we double that to 20,000, you've made, an extra $1,000 a month. So now you're at 20, right? So you've made, so can we get the likes at under 10 cents is what that ends up meaning, right? Because if you're spending more than that, then you're absolutely going to be ROI negative. So you can kind of reverse engineer and make assumptions about like the value of a like or the value of traffic from social and stuff like that.
I love that.
At the end of the day, that is like a leading indicator, and your lagging indicator is going to be straight revenue from your efforts.
Yeah, so good. I cannot wait for your session. It's going to be awesome. I think this is also why it's so important that as business owners, not, for our clients and also for us, that we're tracking this stuff. So like if we don't have, what are some ways that people can be tracking things like this?
So, all right. So for when it comes to from customer service, let's move it back to the live chat or customer service thing. So unfortunately, it's really tough to track this. There's a great tool that would integrate with ManyChat in order to do this. So Gorgeous is the customer service help desk for e-commerce, and they have a built-in revenue tracker. So so what happens if you're using ManyChat is they don't touch any of your bot interactions, but if there is a human interaction off the back end, that would create a ticket they would look at whether that person is a customer. And if they've purchased recently, then it's a post-sale ticket. If they purchase in the next 7 days, then it'll become a pre-sale ticket. And they'll be able to attribute the revenue from that purchase back to the ticket that you had with that customer. And so that's the easiest way to track, is using a tool like that.
Okay, wait. I just have to say that like gorgeous as a word sounds like so awesome when you say it, but for SEO purposes, it is bad because I just searched gorgeous. What?
Yeah, this is one of the first things I said.
It's spelled different. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's that company.
Yeah, I get it. I called it George's. Now I see it. I see it right there.
It's, again, this is only a tool for Shopify stores. So I'm giving people like limited advice here, and it's not going to be for everyone, but that you do want to think about how you can attribute revenue to the ticket. So if you were able to reverse engineer your tickets or inquiries through, whether it's through ManyChat or like a customer service tool that sits on the back end of ManyChat, right? What you would want to do is look at all of your tickets, and then you would look at all of your sales that essentially came in, and you would either match up the name, the email ID, if you need to do messenger ID, whatever it is. And then you can track that back. You could use a spreadsheet and a VLOOKUP. It would be a little bit of work, but it's important, because if you want to validate hiring another customer service manager or something like that, then you need to show the revenue and ROI. And most importantly for me, because sales, on-site sales, especially for e-commerce, is such a new concept, there's really bad reps, essentially, is what I would say. You can hire somebody that's great at customer service, but terrible at sales. And so you really want to be tracking the revenue of individual agents and understanding who knows how to close deals. I'll give you examples straight from the talk. At
Conversations Conference, which were you there last year?
I was not there last year.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
You're gonna love it.
I'm sharing the stage with Randy Zuckerberg. I know Neil Patel well from other events and stuff, and a lot of great names. And
I'm thinking right before Neil, and I feel like I was just telling my husband last night. I was like, I've never felt more pressure in my life than the fact that I'm like opening for Neil Patel.
He's laid back for the most.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's good. It's all good.
So let me give you guys an example of a conversation. Can I share my screen? I don't know.
No, you can't. But if you send me something, it'll work.
Okay, let me share this link. I don't want to. It's okay. I'm not going to do it. I'll just talk it through.
Sorry. Yeah. There is another way actually with Be Live to allow you to share the screen, but I didn't set it up that way. Oopsie. Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. It's probably better this way because we need to keep something secret for conference. But conceptually, what I want to look at is, okay, how should a support agent or sales agent be talking to a customer in order to close them, right? So here's one example of a common conversation. The inquiry comes in and the user says, is this product currently in stock? The customer service rep responds and says, "Hi there, thanks for reaching out to our store. I'm happy to help." So that's like a useless sentence, right? It didn't really do anything, but that's okay. So then the customer service rep says, "Thanks for your interest. Which product were you interested in?" So they already said the product name.
What they're asking about.
So this is a bad start, right? Totally. We're off to a bad start already because like you had the information, like it didn't get lost between chat 1 and chat 2, right? Like,
well, and this like really comes down to, and you mentioned this earlier, is that like we want to start with humans, right? And this is what I love about ManyChat is that it combines, like people often think that when you're using a bot, you're just giving it off to a robot that you never have.
Oh, you froze on me.
Can you hear it? Can I? Wow. Okay. Sorry. The interwebs got mad when I talked about humans, I suppose. But the more humans that you bring, that you combine with it, and you scale those one-on-one relationships through stuff like this, is where it really becomes powerful. So I love this so much. So it's like listening, right? Okay, go on.
Yes. So yeah, exactly. And it's using the conversation 1, so your base conversation, to then automate and solve for conversation N, right? So you don't really need to, you can use the exact same language in your bot conversation that you would have as a person, as opposed to, I don't know, kind of faking it or forcing it, which I think a lot of people do. They start with really lengthy chatbot flows for situations that maybe have never existed before or may not ever come up. And
Yeah.
instead, what I think is you build the bot off of the human interaction. So so you start with zero bot, and then as time goes on, you just add the chunks in where you see that they're needed.
I
And this is
love it.
probably very different than a lot of other people's advice. So
Yeah, it's so
maybe
good.
I'm counterculture here. I don't know.
No, I think this actually, because I've done videos with Sid before, who is our, and with Mike, and both of them are so big about the fact that we're helping to create more human connections, which I think is so important and so true. I also just want to give a shout out to this gorgeous website, because when I'm looking at it here, if you look at the chat bot down here, this is actually really good. And I'm going to change my chat on my page today to do this. So it says, the very first thing that it says is, we help Shopify merchants like Timbuktu and Rothy's provide high quality customer support. So a lot of people, when you come to their websites and they have this chat thing, it just says like, how can I help you today? Or, it doesn't say anything, but this is actually establishing who the ideal, and it's opening, who the ideal client is, what the problem that they solve is like reestablished right there. So you've got your little like story brand or whatever right there, letting them know how you actually solve their problems, which I think is cool. I don't know if you recommend that, but I like it.
Right. And
and the social proof by listing those bigger companies.
And I think it's been established now that the testimonials page is dead, right? We need the testimonials in our interactive content, in our on each page of the site. If it's e-commerce, it's on our product detail page. It's in our emails. It's in everything that, like, it's interacting with everything. People don't go looking for testimonials. You have to bring them forward so they can see them. And so I think that's a great example.
It feels more authentic that way, because when you have a testimonials page, it's like, obviously everything is crafted here to be a testimonials page. But if you're just intertwining it with stories, or even inside your thing like that, like that's like, it's more seamless, and it doesn't feel as like, look at how much people love us. It's more about your customer's experience as well, which I love.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're promoting the customer. So they're happy. Timbuktu and Rothy's are getting free publicity on a relatively important website. And of course, it's really, a little bit of their competitors are kind of seeing it, and other brands in the e-commerce space, but that's still very good for them. I think they would be, happy with it. All right. So we're back to our conversation where we've already made the customer repeat the question that they had already asked for no reason. And we know what product. So we're the customer service rep. Okay, we need to look into if this product is in stock or not. So I'm a customer service rep. I'm going to the back end of my operations platform or e-commerce platform. I look it up. I get the answer, and I say, unfortunately, it does not look like we have these available at this time. I apologize. And then the user just says, okay. I mean, what are you supposed to do if that's how they leave the conversation, right? There's no like, and this is, by the way, this product is lashes. And if you've ever bought fake lashes.
This was actually something that this is a real conversation.
Yeah, this is is a conversation.
Okay, I thought it was when you made up.
Mystery shopper report.
Oh my gosh, you said that in the beginning. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
And lashes, like, if you're buying fake lashes, I know a lot about this. No, I do know a lot about this, because at BoxyCharm I had to learn how to sell lashes.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, you're like a makeup expert. I'm stoked about this. Who knew how gorgeous our video would be this morning?
I'm a pretend beauty expert. I know beauty experts, and they're way better than me. I just know enough to be a fool, I suppose, at it. But if you know lashes, like, okay, there's one style that you really liked, but odds are you would buy a different style of lash, right?
Or maybe they can even recommend one that's even better.
Yeah. Or cheaper, or on sale, or a bestseller, right?
Totally.
So this is basically how the conversation ends. The customer service rep says, may I answer any additional questions for you? And the user says, no, thank you. So if this were a storefront, this is the user in the store going, no, thanks, turning around and just kind of, they're gone. They just walked out of your store. Your store has lashes everywhere, right? You have lashes to the ceiling, but that one was out, and they're like, oh, that one wasn't in stock. Well, obviously I have to go someplace. No, of course not. You're in the store. Let me show you other products that we have, right? Like, let me take you around. What are you into? What other products do you like? Like, who do you follow on social? Let's have a conversation, right? If it was in my store, I would be talking to you. I would be understanding who you
know what?
are.
So I was at a clothing store in New York a month ago or so, and I was very specifically looking for some new pieces to wear when I speak at events, and like nothing that they had fit. It was like some like little teeny bopper sizes or something. I don't know. And so, but the woman who was helping me was like a curvy woman, and so I looked at her like, "Why are you even working in this store?" I didn't say that, but I was like, "No, it's okay. Like I tried a couple of things. Like I'm really just good." And she was like, "Girl, I got you. Please just like give me 2 seconds to like really dive into this with you." I spent like $500 on clothes by the time I was done.
And you were about to leave.
Yeah. And
that was an abandoned cart message by her, but in real life.
Yeah. She needs to work customer support for some chatbots, because she like suckered me in, and I actually totally love everything that I found. But I definitely, if she had not been there to help me push through like whatever my issues were with thinking I knew what I wanted. Yeah.
And that's it right there. She helped you find what you wanted. She didn't force anything that, on you. She didn't she didn't go like, oh, do you need a men's suit? Like she didn't like do something foolish like that. She knew a little bit about you and saw a little bit about what you've done and
asked more questions also, which is the other thing that you can do with the bot. And then the other cool thing is that when you have a human doing this, they can store the information inside ManyChat so that anybody else who comes there can see what you've already purchased, what you've asked about, what your sizes are. Like I have a lot of clients who sell LuLaRoe clothing. I don't know if you know LuLaRoe. It's a direct sales clothing company, but we do these quizzes with ManyChat where we quiz the whole, people can figure out their style guide or whatever, their style, not their style guide, but like their style type. And they're like fun and interactive with gifts and all this, but each step of the way, we're getting information about what they like and what sizes they are, or what colors they like, or what styles they like. And then that's saved in the bot. So when we have, a special going on for a certain product, you have that information there so you can reach out as a human and let them know.
Yeah, and we did this. So I was an early adopter of ManyChat, and I think it's been obviously. How old is ManyChat? Maybe 5 years old.
Maybe.
I was like 3 or 4 years ago, while I was running my agency. We used ManyChat to we created kind of workflows for a shoe company. We need to know men's, women's, kids, right? And kids is often moms shopping for kids. And we needed to know sizes. So we got that information through a quick messenger survey. We were able to send like targeted offers to people. We also segmented, because it's an Italian brand, we segmented English and Italian. So it was really valuable. We were able to do giveaways with messenger sequence follow-ups, and it grew a strong brand and huge messenger following that still exists to today.
I love it so much. Okay, so if you are not convinced about like the unending amount of knowledge that you're going to get when you come to this conference, I think you must have had your ears plugged today. Like you must be listening to the video like this. So this has been so awesome, Derric. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave as like one little, like David says, great value. I love it. And I would love those of you that are watching, I would love you to share just a nugget that you learned today. So one thing that you're not only going to listen to, but that you're also going to put into action. If that thing happens to be that you're going to come to the conference, I would like to hear that too. And I would like to remind you to give us the word Ecom Rocks below this video. Reply to the ManyChat messenger bot, and you'll get access to a discount code if you've yet to get a ticket for the conference, and the show notes from today. So some of the goodness that has been shared will be written up so that you can read it over and over again in the future. But is there one last little tip that you'd like to leave us with before we get to meet up in Austin in September at the Conversations Conference?
At the end of the day, I think that the takeaway, of course, I already said 24/7 bot to human interaction. And we're asking questions and carrying the conversation on that in a way that will result sales. Do not incentivize your agents to close tickets as fast as possible. Incentivize them to close sales as best as possible.
That is a whole nother video that we could do, which I love that also, because then you're going to, we don't want to be salesy weirdos with this. We want to be, this really is all coming from such an awesome place of serving the customer, which I love so much. So good. Awesome. Derric Haynie, where can people find out more about you or learn from you? Do you have courses? Like what's going on? Tell us where we can learn from you.
No courses these days, but I run ecommercetech.io, where we navigate this, especially right now, the Shopify app ecosystem. So I literally do demos of tech tools for a living, share those in a 5-minute recap video on the site. And then I consult with e-commerce store owners on what their tech stack should look like. I do all of this for free, and because I'm able to do it for free because of our extensive partner network and sponsor network that we have. Yeah, I love talking tech stacks. I love talking live chat. And typically when I do these consultations, it ends up being an entire business conversation, not just about tech stacks. So I'm always happy to talk.
Yeah, I can tell. This is so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's ecommercetech.io? No, what was it?
I'm going to share it here in chat.
Right? Okay, yeah, perfect. And man, this looks so awesome. And I think even if you aren't using a Shopify store, there's so many little bits of nuggets of knowledge that you can apply to what you're doing. Like I know this is kind of random, but with Twitch, I used to have a show on Twitch, and my audience is not really, my community is not really on Twitch. I was bringing them there. We're not doing Twitch anymore. However, I do think there's so many things that's done on Twitch that I've now brought to my Facebook community by using the ideas that I get from these other tech tools. So I think there's so many cool things we can learn even if you're not using it. So yeah, really awesome. Ecommercetech.io. Check that out. You can check out these videos and knowledge nuggets from Derric. So good. Derric, don't hang up or leave when we're done here. Don't close out the video because I want to get a photo that we can use as a little thumbnail. And This has been so good. We can't wait to see everybody at the Conversations Conference. Oh my goodness gracious. In September, get your tickets now because the price is going up again. And we will give you a discount code if you reply with the word Ecom Rocks.
Yeah, boom. I'm looking forward to it. And the thing I would say about Conversations Conference, it's about the networking and the people you're going to meet, the opportunities that are going to stem from those conversations. Yeah, just like what we're talking about in the bot. This is what's going to happen in the customer chat. This is going to happen in real life. IRL. Totally. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. We'll actually be back on Monday with Matt Plapp, who is also super focused on seeing that ROI and the ways that you present that to your customers. One of my favorite things about Matt. So we'll be here on Monday at 10 a.m. and then we've got another show coming up after that. Oh my gosh, so good. My name is Molly Mahoney. Thank you so much. You can find me at Molly Mahoney, the Prepared Performer, where we help you to use live video and messenger bots to attract a flood of leads who want to throw credit cards at your face. And another big thank you to Be Live TV, who's one of our sponsors today that made this happen with these magical videos. So good. Okay, bye.